Frances Palchuk from thebloglunch.com, and today I'm going to go over how you can set up your RSS feed. First of all, the tools that you'll need obviously is your blog open and viewing the dashboard. You want to be able to be logged into your Google account and navigate to FeedBurner, which is feedburner.com. And we can also go to W3C Feed Validation Services. So it's validator.w3.org/appc/ or else just type in Feed Validator into Google, and the first search result that shows up should indeed be the W3C Feed Validation Service. So then what you want to do is copy the URL of your site without the admin part. So just the www dot and then domain name and then .com or .ca or whatever your feed happens to be. Then you want to go to the W3C Feed Validation Service, paste your domain name for your blog in there and hit check. Now, let's just check this again. So, note how it says, oh, server returned an HTTP error 503, service temporarily unavailable. Okay, so why is the service unavailable? So let's look at the possible causes. Address may be incorrect. No, it's spelled correctly, I know that. Or it may be temporarily unavailable. Oh, okay, so let's go back to our dashboard, and this is important especially if you have your blog in maintenance mode like we do right now for this purpose of the tutorial. So what you want to do is go back to your plugins if you have the maintenance mode plugin installed, and you want to deactivate it really quickly. So now that it's deactivated, we're going to go back and validate the feed again. And there it is. So it's great. The feed's valid. So what we're going to do is copy the feed. We're going to go back to FeedBurner. And all the way at the bottom it says, burn a feed, write this in. Type your blog or RSS feed here. So now we know from validating the feed that our feed address right now, without burning it using FeedReader, is .com/feed. So it'll be yourdomain.com/feed or whatever your dot extension is. So we want to go back to FeedBurner. Now, the primary reason we're going to be burning the feed in FeedBurner is because once it's burned in FeedBurner, FeedBurner gives you all sorts of additional options to optimize your feed and market it, as well as taking your feed from the format it's in now, and it mashes it into a new format that all feed reader services can understand. So I'm not a podcaster, so I'm not going to click that. You click next. You wait a minute. And now it says your feed's been verified. Here's what happens next. FeedBurner will apply some of your most popular services to your new feed to get you started. You can always modify or remove them later. Great, that's awesome. Now, this new feed will be activated in your FeedBurner account. You may also set up some optional traffic stats tracking and podcasting services. Great, that's awesome. So now we have the opportunity here to give our feed a title. Since my blog, for the purpose of this tutorial, is called Social Media Launch, that feed URL is perfect for me. So my feed title is going to stay Social Media Launch. Now, here's the tricky part. What we're going to do is remember the domain, remember the URL for your new feed. So we'll leave it there before we hit next. Now we're going to go back and reactivate the maintenance mode plugin. Okay, now that's activated again, so nobody can see our site before we launch it. Now we're going to go to our widget section. So generally, if we look at the home page of the blog, we want to make sure that the feed is somewhere prominent here, okay? So I know that this particular theme that I'm using, Genesis, has an option to display an RSS icon to grab your feed and your comments right here at the top right. So I'm going to go ahead back into the Genesis theme options and I'm going to activate those so that the feed icon shows up there. Now the way I do that is to enter our feed in this box. So let's go back to Feed Burner. We'll copy that. We'll put it there, paste it. No, I don't want the, oops, I don't want the blog launch feed. Now we'll go back and we'll copy the rest of the feed address and we'll paste that there. Now we're going to save it and give it a second. And we're going to reload the home page. Now, I told it the feed, however, it's still not showing up there in the top right. So let's go ensure that we're going to be checking off the right options here. Now, if we scroll down a little bit under nav settings, navigation settings in the Genesis admin dashboard, it will ask us include primary nav, include fancy drop downs, enable extras on right side. So what do we want to enable? We want to enable our RSS feed links. So that's great. Now we'll save those settings. We'll refresh our page. And there it shows up. So great. We've got our comments feed. So let's validate our comments feed with the feed validator. We'll paste it. We'll check it. Ooh, because we reactivated the maintenance mode. So let's go back into the plugins and we'll deactivate the maintenance mode once again. Because once that maintenance mode's active, that means nobody can crawl your site. Google is not able to, and obviously the feed validator service is not able to, which is a good thing when you're working on your blog before it's launched. So let's go ahead and copy the comments feed. It's valid, that's great. We'll go back to Feed Burner. We'll hit next on the first feed setting. Okay, so either we took too long or somebody else. Got it. Okay, so somebody else has the social media launch. So now I'm stumped here. Let me just put something here. I'm going to put the social media launch. Let's see what happens. I guess I'll have to rename it. Alright, so now the social media launch as opposed to social media launch. So I'm going to copy that new feed and we'll go back to our Genesis dashboard and we'll rechange that to the social media launch. Now we're going to save it. Now we're going to go back to the feed validator to burn our comments feed. Now we'll just hit the next step for the feed burner for our regular feed. And we're not going to go through any of the steps right now because I want to show you how you can also burn the other feed for the comments. So let's paste the comments feed. Comments for social media launch. So I'm going to put the social media launch. Comments for the social media launch. We'll hit next. Ooh, Okay, so it's already taken. So we'll delete that. And we'll delete this. We'll see if comments for social media launch is already taken. Let's just try it once more. Okay, good. So comments for social media launch. Now we have that one. So we'll just hit next here and next. Now we're going to go back and we're going to paste that comment feed URL that FeedBurner gave us there. Save those settings and refresh. We'll go back, reload, and we'll try the comments. Great comments for social media launch. Posts for social media launch. How awesome is that? Okay, so now we have the basic feed burned through FeedBurner.